Well, hi guys, it's me, Lucy Spill. So in this video, I will be breaking down Maggie Poo's relentless social climbing from when she came to the UK in 2015 up until now. Let's call it her 10-year plan. So anyway, guys, let's go. Everything I talk about in my videos is my opinion only, so sit back, relax, grab yourself a cuppa or a drink of your choice and enjoy. So I think I'm going to have to do this in two parts. Girls will be here for 24 hours, I think, because I think we can agree that Maggie Poos isn't just a social climber. She's climbing up a mountain with a tiara-shaped summit, let's say. So when she came to the UK in 2015, she started to hang out with Millie McIntosh because she wanted a part in Made in Chelsea. And so I don't think Megs had ever heard of Millie McIntosh or Made in Chelsea for that matter. I think she just Googled it on the way over to the UK because we all know her sole purpose was to bag herself a famous British man. But Millie McIntosh has spoken out since about this shortlist friendship, saying they met at a hotel in Istanbul, but after she didn't get her part in Made in Chelsea, she was completely ghosted. And fair warning, there will be a whole load of ghosting in this video. And if you feel ignored at all, it's just all part of the immersive experience for you guys. So after discarding Millie because she couldn't get her a part on Made in Chelsea, I mean, imagine the level of cringe when you couldn't even get a part on Made in Chelsea, where the sole purpose is just to own a blazer and have an argument in a wine bar. So she then moved on to Lizzie Cundy, who's like a TV personality, but she was kind of a famous it girl back then. But she moved on to Lizzie Cundy and asked her to, quote, bag her a rich English man. That's quote, that was. And I know Ashley Cole was in the mix somewhere and he turned her down. Ashley Cole, like, bleh, Ashley Cole, and he turned her down. Like the world's most, I don't know what the word is, but the world's most cheater, if you will, if you understood that. Someone who cheats a lot, even on Cheryl Cole, who is out of this world, stunning and has a heart of gold. So yeah, Lizzie Cundy has spoken out and said she's had pretty much the same treatment as Millie McIntosh has, as when she met Has. Ghosted. I think we'll be hearing that word, like I said, quite a lot in this video. So, and none of us know. It's a worldwide mystery of how they met, because we've had about 10 different versions of this fairy tale of how they met. I think they met on at the actual Tinder, not just royal Tinder, the actual Tinder. I think that's how they actually met. So when they started dating, Has wanted to keep their relationship a secret, as his two exes, Cressida Bona and Chelsea Davy, they were hounded by the paps and the press. Something Maggie Poos would love, but have we ever seen it? Absolutely not. So she'd do little pap strolls that went over in the UK first. So there's many back exits, in Kensington Palace, but she did a pap stroll at the front exit just to let us know that she's dating Has. And how can we forget that pap stroll she did in Toronto with H on full display? There was about 4 paps there, and she interacted with all of them like, "Hi guys, how are you all? Look at my H here. Look who I'm dating." Starting to let people know who she's dating, and that's not what Has wanted. So this is something that has never ever happened. So Maggie Poos goes up to Has and says, "I'm being hounded so much by the press. You need to let them all know to leave me alone." And a statement was wrote about a girlfriend, not a wife, a girlfriend. A statement was put out there to say, stop, something like, "Stop harassing my girlfriend with racial undertones," and or something, blah blah blah, word salad, whatever it was on there. But that has never ever happened. How effing annoying. She is so relentless and I must say bold to get him to actually do that, and she was actually allowed. I mean, wow. And her sole purpose for doing this is to let the world know she was dating Prince Has. That's the only reason she got him to do that. So we come to the engagement interview. Sorry, my little speech impediment coming through again there. So the engagement interview, which they just spoke a crock of shit. I think we can just call it just a complete crock of shit. And the most hilarious thing about it was Maggie Poo saying she'd never heard of Has, and 2, never heard of the royal family. I mean, that's pretty impressive, I must say. As an actress and ran a lifestyle blog and was into like celebrity culture, but didn't know the most famous family on the planet. Come on, Maggie Poos, did you really think we'd believe that? So I think that's when we were learning who Maggie Poos really was and the red flags that we were starting to see. And I think she thought in her own head that this face palm of stupidity would actually work. And we just was seeing that was just something off with her during that whole interview. Just something not quite right. I mean, what was she learning at school? I mean, I know they do world history over there, so what was she doing while they were learning about the most famous family on the planet with so much history? What was she doing during all that then? And on that note, this is where she met Nikki Pretty, because she's been ghosted also because she doesn't want anyone to know about her past, and I will come to that. But Nikki Pretty said that Maggie Poos has been obsessed with the royal family since age like 7 and had Diana's biography. So, and she also said she was obsessed with the late Princess Diana also and was desperate to become her. So, the wedding, as she wanted that done so quick, as she knew Prince William was telling House to slow things down. And was Maggie Pooh's going to have any of that? Absolutely not. So then we had Thomas Markle Jr. He saying he couldn't make it to the wedding for a very valid reason, which was a triple heart bypass that he had to have after a heart attack. So he couldn't come. And so put a pin in that. Just put a pin in that for now. So she had within her very long, like, what are they called? Gown, not a gown, whatever they're called. You know what I mean? She had she had stitched in there every every um every every flower of the Commonwealth. It's stitched in that very long trail. Got it, trail. So in that very long trail, she had every flower from the Commonwealth stitched into it, which she later called the British Empire 2.0. Ooh. And our lovely Prince of Wales, right? This is the whole Who Made Who Cry. So Meggie Pooh's made our lovely Princess of Wales cry, as she did its royal protocol to wear tights. We all know that. And Meggie Pooh's didn't want little Princess Charlotte to wear any tights, just shoes. And obviously, Princess Catherine didn't want that. She wanted to stick to the royal protocol. So, but Meggie Pooh's snapped back at her and said something to do with really rude, something to do with baby brain or something like that. I mean, so I know she tried to reverse the story of Who Made Who Cry. I mean, as if we won't find out about that, but again, I will come to that. Sorry, I just want to say quickly that going back to the the Commonwealth, and her saying in the Keeping Up with the Sussexes that it was the British Empire 2.0. That was the late Queen's legacy. So she shat all over that on Keeping Up with the Sussexes, but I will be coming to that later, to the very boring Keeping Up with the Sussexes on Netflix. I will come to that shortly. So, as her father couldn't make it, she got the future king at the time to walk her, well, partially down the aisle, because she's such a feminist, isn't she? And look at some of these smug faces. I mean, Maggie Pooh's is that smug. It's like she walks into a room and accepts an award for being the best person there. I mean, I have no idea what that initial statement was about of leave my girlfriend alone that Has did in 2016, because in 2018 when they got married, Maggie Pooh's was highly embraced. We saw all the streets filled and it was televised throughout the world, and so many people tuned in, and we all thought met his perfect match, an actress, an American, someone of colour. That has never happened before. And how wrong was we about her being his perfect match? So a few of our so there was a few requests that our Meggie Pooh's wanted pre-wedding. So she wanted to clear all the streets around St George's Chapel where they got married. She wanted to clear all the streets of all the homeless people there, to fill up the street of people, to for her own self-ego to, give her more praise, just clear all the homeless people away for people to praise you more. And the other request she wanted was she wanted to put air fresheners in St George's Chapel, a very historic church. Request denied. So now we come to one of the most deplorable things you could ever do. This is where she outed she was pregnant to everyone at Princess Eugenie's wedding. Yes, she absolutely did that. I mean, it was, I think this was to get her back about the tiara. I mean, how effing petty. So she wasn't even 12 weeks pregnant at the time, and she was wearing a really oversized coat that looked far too big for her. And I think we can all agree she's the chief of, if I can get this out, chief of chief of petty police. There we go, got it out. She's the chief of petty police. We all know that. So we all know also it's rule number 1. You never tell anyone you're pregnant. You never steal the bride's thunder on their wedding day. But she absolutely did that. Of course she did. All to get back at her. All because she's so petty. Because she wanted that very tiara, and the late Queen had to slap her down and say no, because she already, I think she already had the date that Princess Eugenie wanted. Sorry, stumbling all over the place. But she already stole the date that Princess Eugenie wanted. So the late Queen was absolutely going to give Princess Eugenie that tiara. But I think Meggie Poos wanted it just cause. But that's just Meggie Poos for you, isn't it? Anyway, that's it for me today, guys. But in my part 2, I will be breaking down Megxit, of course, because she left because she had to follow rules. And Meggie Pools and rules have a long-standing mutual avoidance agreement. So I'll also be going through why she doesn't speak to her health-stricken father anymore. And also all of her failed projects, those toe-curling pap strolls, and the lies she told the world whilst in the royal family, and of course all the shenanigans she's been up to whilst in the States. And welcome new subs. You don't know how heartwarming and what it means to me. So thank you so much. Much love.